So the craziest thing has been happening after I finished making the video of my first ever animation production. I've been getting in touch with classmates, classmates. I'm talking about guys from like 7-8 years since we were actively in communication. Thankfully, due to that particular video, we have been in touch. And in addition to that, I was able to retrieve my second animation that I did after the first. I don't even remember some of the things I did in this particular animation. I had thoughts that I know that I've done this animation, but I don't even remember the title for this animation. If you have followed my journeys in any of my platforms, this is the first time you are going to see this. We are going to watch it and then we'll review it together. I'm going to leave you guys to be the judge of this, whether I improved from the first animation or not. So let me know in the comment section after this video whether you think I improved or not. Drop your file and have a seat. I've not yet been impressed. I hope you have something better for me, Mr.
Here to pitch my appeal.
I'm sorry, but this is no job for a lady.
Excuse me, the application was open to all.
So off the cuff, this particular project was not meant to be black and white. It is actually colored, but due to circumstances, I had to, relegate to making it black and white. You could tell from the last frame of the film that there was color in the film. Second of all, bummer to the sound. I think I didn't work on the levels well. The sound was like this is clearly a Pink Panther instrumental that I put under it. I can't adjust it now because I also don't have the original files. I lost everything. I have been able to retrieve a few of the production files. We'll go through that. This is what we have, so we're going to work with it. Apparently, this was an SDG goal assignment still in the classroom setting. Unlike the first animation production that we did as a group, this one was solo production. So individually you had to make your own animation. Which didn't work well for some people. Not everyone came to the class for animation. Other people were more interested in other sides. So Anyway, for me, let me just focus on my part. With this, the SDG goal that I settled to work with was gender inequality, and this particular production, I can clearly flesh out the timeline, but it wasn't more than a month, if memory serves me right. We didn't have more than a month to be able to make this. What I knew I had to do from experience from the previous production was that if I'm going to be able to pull this through, I needed to find some smart ways to do animation. So let's walk through this particular production and let me give you a breakdown of it. Then later we go into those stuffs. The animation began with this cue, and the idea of this was to showcase the scenario or the situation that is there are a group of people in line for an interview, and majority of them happen to be male figures. I added these short animations of the first and second characters. The first one was tapping the feet just to give a sense of urgency, and the other one is just to give the idea these guys have been there for a long time and time is going and that kind of thing. So from there I had these shots that were meant to reinforce the idea to make sure that it is clear the kinds of people that are in this particular shot or scene. Over here, you could see the different layers, how I've put them. The way I arranged them was that the characters that were meant to be animated were put on a different layer, then those that will be static were put on one layer. For this action, let me isolate that. So for this character that we have over here, this guy is supposed to take his feet and cross it over just and stand like that. Yeah, so the leg goes out first before it comes back to this. So it goes out, then comes back there, then I situated it down there. The first one, this is a simple trick with it. If you look at it, this is the illusion. Guy is tapping the feet. But then what I did over here was simply, this is one frame, raise the feet, raise it again, then down, raise the feet, raise it again, then down. So basically this animation was just made out of 3 frames, and I copied and pasted it throughout the sequence, and that's what gave the illusion of the consistent tapping of feet. Something simple like that. This male character kind of come alive and turns his head, look at this lady in the line, and gives him like a frown, and the lady also returned with a smile. I did the smear work with the face being smeared. The smear is like 1 frame to be able to give the sense of speed. I animated the head with this understanding of a cube. So if you look at the way the head turns, yeah, so it starts slow, then it cuts to, I think the head shouldn't have jumped out like that. Boo, boo. This is basically an example of animating economically. It's only his head that move. If you pay attention to it, it's only his head that move. If I were to be animating this now, obviously I wouldn't do this. Look, wow, look, it's just his shoulders that it's his shoulders that I moved. So look at it, it's just 1, then 2, then 3 frames. Like, you could tell animation was just, if you plan it well, you can tell animation with very minimal efforts. Really, you could tell a story, not animation. You could tell a story with very minimal efforts. Yeah, the turning of the doorknob was pretty simple, but then I think there are some few funny things that happened over here. I had this instance here, then the second there, that, and this. Now looking at it, it felt very awkward. Like, the weight of the hand doesn't commemorate to the tiny handle in his hand. It feels a bit abnormal. I would have made the handle go in that direction, something like that, just to give it that kind of weight. For this hand scene, this is one of my video references. Yeah, that's my room. I'm talking about, this is campus. Any Brunerians around? So we open the door, and then we have the black screen, which was just to communicate, like, time has passed. Then we see the door open. I should have made it like a fade rather than a cut to black. Other than that, it gives this idea that the guy who opened the door is the same person we got to see walking into the office. But then this work cycle, look at how it goes, like that. It wasn't bad. That should be the only animated reference that I got from online somewhere to help me with that. So the guy is rocking the chair. That's kind of like a strong rock for an office chair. So he goes on, is like, yeah, puts the stuff on the table, and he goes like, I've not been impressed. That's actually my voice. I mean, you could tell. He was, by dialogue, implying that he expected to see only male figures. So it wasn't too much of it. I tried. I mean, this was the second time animation production, so I tried to make the story kind of interesting, but I think this. Let me not defend myself. He turns to his surprise to find a lady. I think that turn was very sharp. Like, right, I think Look at that. It's like, oh yeah, I am not even recognizing that the table was shifting. Wow. For this, what I had to do to get that posture was to make a cube and animate the cube instead. It is easier to picture in terms of perspective. Yeah, so I first animated a cube, then out of the cube couched out the shape of the chair. The same thing also applied for the turning of the chair where the lady came in. So we have that turning in happening over here. Yeah, to achieve this as well, I ended up making this turn. So this is what I did in order to achieve that turn. The goal of this was to help me with the perspective, changing it because there was going to be a body in it, and animating the body turn in perspective. Yeah, I needed this prism thing to help me with that. You know, right now watching it and discussing with you, I realized that this is not the actual render. Yes, because there were many things I'm not recalling that, because it got to a place that I made like a parallax movement of the character and this other man in the seat. There was a parallax. I remember unfortunately I don't oh man. The lip sync was okay. And this would be the first time I had done a lip sync. This would be the first time I've done a lip sync like this, and like close up, and it wasn't as difficult as lip sync. Like truly, I don't know if I'm different, but generally I've not really encountered lip sync as a difficult thing, like, or unless I haven't really faced a complex lip sync thing. But it's very, very easy, honestly. So the guy shakes his head. You could tell that head shake was like copy and paste. Yeah, then we have this scene. This scene also, I remember I did there's supposed to be a zoom in. So this clearly points out that yeah, there's actually another version of this film, which is not this one, but unfortunately I clearly have lost it. Then the tapping, obviously the tap was my hand. He draws the booklets, supposed to be CV close by, then he looks through, then he got amazed, and the lady was like, oh yeah, that kind of thing. The main thing that I remember wanting to achieve for this particular production was to use less to tell more. I did realize that you can tell a lot of things by not necessarily showing everything. I would have likely drawn like a whole workspace, see people sitting by computers and whatever, and these guys there. But I knew that I can tell the same thing by just showing parts of the characters. It didn't require too much out of the sky, like an Optimus Prime animation, to be able to tell this story. The idea was gotten. The storyline, without the review, you could tell the message already. So you didn't really need all these shenanigans to be able to tell the animation. So I took a lot of time solely working on the pre-production, particularly the storyboard, with the intention that I needed to find ways of telling with simplicity a story. So yeah, that whole idea I just shared is a working theory. In the film, it was implemented in a seed form, if I should call it. The film needs a lot of works and yada. There were a lot of color spillage, a lot of black and white frames, cutting through. Maybe I may take out time to redo the entire film. If you would like to see that, let me know in the comment section. And also, between this and the first one, which one was an improvement? Let me know also in the comment section. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.